Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your monthly Fire Tribe report. This is the Peace Dealer, and we're going to break down, of course, this Libra season 2025 for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay. Air for fire signs are air houses, communication, relationships, neighborhoods, and all other such important social dynamics for the social sign. Okay. This is not, once again, a reminder, this is not just there's an idea of what people think astrology is, even though they have absolutely no experience reading natal charts or doing astrology. They just talk about it. And then there's astromancy, which is the magical application of this astrological practice. That's what we're going to be doing here. All right. Astromancy. Okay. I'm not necessarily going to be telling you your future as far as what's going to happen. I'm just going to give you the stats. Okay. And then you take this information and you do what you will with it. If you incorporate it in any rituals, if you want to, of course, add on to this, it is what it is. I'm going to give you the mathematics. I'm going to let you know what's happening during this Libra season. And yeah, keep that in mind. Libra season, given its correlation with intelligence, and its opposition with Chiron this season, with Chiron in Aries and Neptune in Aries, could produce pseudo intellectual facets of people's personalities where they're spouting off the mouth, acting as if they're more intelligent than they really are, and saying a bunch of things in order to undermine you, in order to just feel better about themselves. And what specifically I am talking about are really just anybody, everywhere, any type of person who is realistically just, you know, talking, just saying things that they are saying in an effort to try and sound smarter than you, or to try and kind of one up you or whatnot. All right. Shout out to Brooke, 12th house queen. We've been going back and forth on our theories about the recent shooting, and I appreciate her because she kind of helps give me different perspectives, and like even though I may not agree with maybe certain angles she takes on it, I do appreciate our ability to just kind of entertain different ideas and thoughts, right? So I just wanted to kind of share that, as far as like, people who are in your corner, or people who are willing to challenge your ideas, are willing to challenge your beliefs. That's entirely different from what I'm talking about. As far as like, so there's that where like I may not agree with someone like her, but like we open space for each other to entertain our thoughts and beliefs, right? Versus people who are just like very snobby, people who have already dismissed what it is that you are actively demonstrating, right? People who take the truth of what you do and just equate it to theoretical garble, even though they operate off of a theoretical model that's a lie and live a lie. They're threatened by your truth. I'm going to say this again. Those who live a lie are always the most threatened by the truth you speak and live. Remember, what is real cannot be threatened. So the reason why the energies and forces around you are threatened with who you are and what you're doing is because they were never real. Okay. That's a quote that might actually not be as deep as it sounds, but we can pretend that it is. And with that being said, we're going to step into this analysis of the fire signs for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you have Aries rising, sun or moon, if you have a Leo rising, sun or moon, if you have a Sagittarius rising, sun or moon, okay. This message is for you, whether it is natal, whether it is progressed, let me remind you, especially for you fire signs, keep shining on, regardless of your zodiac sign. Don't forget to be. And I want to personally thank you for being. Okay, if someone compliments you, I say thank you for being. If someone disses me or insults me, I say thank you for being. Because whether you are a contribution to this planet or a waste of space, your being in this dimension is still part of a process, a role, and in an odd sense, still serves a purpose, whether I like or dislike you. Thank you for being. And all you ever have to do in this life is just be. Literally, be yourself. If you are still getting too caught up on if you're doing things right or wrong, you are expressly missing the purpose of why you are here in a consumer obsessed society that, of course, fantasizes these lies around what success truly means. You have to have this, you have to do this, you have to be this. None of that was ever true. You are only here to be. Every single or most institutions and corporations that exist are existent upon lies in order to sell lies to you, in order to tell you you need this, you have to have this. None of that is true, because the only truth is you're just meant to be. That's it. I used to hate hearing this, by the way, when people would just say be. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Tell me what to do. I'm trying to do stuff. Do. And even comment. Pisces, his album, Be. Mutability. Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Sag is all about being. Cardinality, like Libra, Aries, Capricorn, is all about doing. Cancer, right? And then, of course, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aqua, it's all about having, okay? All you are here to do is be. There is no right or wrong way to be. You have already decided everything you're going to experience, and you being will unfold that. Even if you decide not to be, you're still unfolding and you're still being. Okay. So that's why I'm saying once again, this is not really fortune telling. I'm not here to tell you what's going to happen in your future. All of that has already been decided by you before you were born. Because remember, you're God. You are an individualized, localized aspect of God in its collective splendor through your individuality. All right. You're not your name. You're not your nationality. You're not your culture. You're not your race. You simply are. And thank you for being. So we're going to step into Aries. If you have an Aries sun, moon, rising, you see how that's like very boring. There's no conflict. It's not like I can sell you anything off of that. Yep. I know. And then when you find out the truth is, maybe reality life is a lot more boring than this exciting fantasy that you're sold on to believe, you start to remember you've always had the answers the whole time, and there's nothing there's nothing to know. There's nothing to do. You just have to be. And Aries as a cardinal sign, this is everything that Neptune over the next 13 years is desperately hoping you remember. Because the Saturn transit over the next 2 years is going to reinstitute the level of integrity with which you carry yourself, especially if you're Aries rising. And remember, this is for both natal and progress charts. So Aries, congratulations. Let's actually go back 6 months. 6 months ago, it was your birthday. You heard? We just had yes, I like to believe that I'm from Brooklyn. I'm trans borough on top of trans divine. I'm a Brooklyn man in a human body from New Jersey. Just ignore how stupid that was. But yes, that's just how I feel. And with that being said, we had this conjunction after Saturn and Neptune. And Aries season, of course, had the Venus retrograde to reevaluate, all right, how you are polishing this individuality. The purpose of Aries season marks the individual actions you take to mark your character, so that by the time we get to Libra season, now those individual character defining actions become polished actions socially ascribed to others that bridge who you have developed yourself through the past 6 months of your identity, your value, your thoughts, your feelings, your talents, your habits through Virgo. You tie all of that together. Boom. Now we're breaking through in Libra. That's why Libra season is so important. Actually, every season is important, but that's the importance of Libra season. So now your seventh house, this opposition of open enemies for this Aries risings, this is your ops house, right? For you Aries sun and moons, this is making a 180-degree angle to the Aries placement. So this is now projecting, bridging, and getting ready to break through this harvest of your individuality. And this is where, as is the classical nature of what we've been interpreting, Uranus in your third house or 60 degrees from your sun or moon, and Pluto in your 11th house or 300 degrees from your sun or moon is going to aid this innovation of your mindset, abilities, and thought process as it awakens the social collective you belong towards and begins to awaken people on your level. I think what Pluto in Aquarius is going to be amazing for you over the next 20 years, especially for you woke Aries who have felt like no one in your circle of friends is really at your level of awareness yet. You may start to find that they're awakening slowly but surely, that the stuff that you were into 5 years ago, now they're starting to stumble into. And this is reflexive. So you could be meeting new people during this period who are aligning you to communities that are on your level or relate to your awareness. This is a 20-year facet that will bring a lot of this extreme pressure, not only in this 11th house of rewards from career, or rather friendships, but also open up the rewards. And that's another important thing. Pluto went through your 10th house. Pluto in from 2008 to 2024 broke through your 10th house. So it really awakened how much more intensely you approach success, if that makes sense. And now this is going to really complete who you're achieving this success with. And time is going by extremely fast. Like we're already, you're so right. Like Libra season has already begun. And before we know it, we'll be in 2026. In the next 6 months, boom, activating this cycle. And Aries, that's the most important thing going on for you guys. Over the next 6 months, you guys are going to, by your birthday, reinitiate this Neptune and Saturn cycle. You guys are going to be this Ready Player One. Aries, you are Ready Player One. And this is what is going to have you really be the face of however many brands you have to in spirit or whatnot. Okay. And the reason why that's very significant, once again, is because now the 6 months leading into this is going to break through what you have begun to unlock in your belief systems. Of course, this eclipse we had in your 12th house or behind your sun and moon really did a number, of course, towards preparing you to release old belief systems. Neptune, North Node, and Saturn in your 12th is unlocking the habitual patterns in Virgo in your 6th or 150 degrees away from your sun or moon, so that you can take this integration in order to unlock unconscious habits, unconscious beliefs you simultaneously release and replace with new habits. So you released them March, and then in September, the past 30 days, you began to replace them with new real habits. Okay. And the reason why, of course, this is significant is because when we come back to Pisces season, March of 2026, you're going to see how you have replaced these previous unconscious habits with the habits you've solidified September and have begun to integrate. All right. What's even more significant about that is, of course, with that 12th house nature, this is unlocking a sense of unconscious competence, which will bring, are you ready? It's going to sound really weird. Supernatural abilities and techniques that replace the nature of how much more incredibly psychic you are, especially with Jupiter, that if you're an Aries rising is preparing for you to move and or renovate your home space or the comfort zone that enables you to open up privately with people. This can also help with real estate, but that's the key part of this eclipse in your 6th and 12th house, especially as Aries rising. Shout out to those of you guys on Instagram. This is the Fire Tribe report. Someone asked, have I done water? We are not going to do water until Friday, baby. Tomorrow is Earth. Thursday is air. And then Friday is going to be water signs. So, with that being said, it's very important, Aries, that you tap into the significance of who and what you are. The actions that you take are going to greatly shift the fate of the next 10, 20 years. Just ask Tyler Robinson, who basically almost drove this country into civil war for 5 days. That's the power of one Aries man. All right, including Libra risings, but we're going to talk about Libra coming into the air tribe because Libra is going to experience it literally the opposite way, as a social personality who's impacting their community while in it, right? Versus an individual personality who is their own person interacting with society. All right. And thank you, baby alien. Cancer is going to be your 10th house. So I'm not sure if you have any sun or placements in Aries, because that's very interesting to know. And that'll be interesting to look into as well. That being said, of course, now that we know that we do have this grand air trine starting this, the radicalization of your mindset, you are now bridging in Libra towards other people, which is definitely very, very, very important. Okay. Sometimes you have to have poor performances in order to really have a good performance. I will say concerning a certain sport, my last couple of games were kind of pitiful. I dropped like 3 points off the bench and I was starting to feel impotent. I was starting to feel like, did I just lose my sauce? You know what I'm saying? Am I just not really that good at hitting it like that anymore? And then it's cool. I recently just dropped 7-10 points and I reminded myself I still got it. Okay. I was in there. I was like, I can keep going. Oh my God, I can keep going. I feel like I hit a personal best and I lasted longer playing this pickup basketball game, of course, that I didn't know that I could. And it was just such a good feeling. And I know that was tied to this new moon. And the new moon that you had, Aries, don't ask me why I went on this tangent, in your 7th house has begun the process of activating a brand new cycle. Don't play with me, Marilyn. You are on the list. Okay. Don't fucking play with me. You know judgment is coming for you. 10 points, bro. I had like 10 points. It is what it is. Yes, bro. I thought I lost it. I still got it. It's still good. It's cool. We just need synergy, teamwork, a little bit of oral support. I mean, a little bit of moral support, and like we gonna be good, baby. We gonna be good. Still goaded. Now, this new moon that we had 29 degrees at the end of your 6th house activated this mastery of your routine and lifestyle so that you can apply this towards what actions you will bridge with people in relationships. Okay, shout out to Izazel. It's straight business now. So basically, let's say the new behavioral patterns you put in are I don't go to sleep after 11 p.m. I don't necessarily smoke cigarettes like that anymore. Now you're applying this in your 7th house of relationships. You're taking interpersonal relationship actions with other people. Someone offers you a cigarette and you are applying your change in behavior and you are saying, nah, I don't smoke anymore. Or, nah, I can't go out because I'm going to go to sleep early. This is how now Virgo season, which is aligned new behavioral patterns, you will be applying in all the potential actions you can take moving forward. Okay. And that's where this Libra sun and moon that we have opposite you as an Aries rising or opposite your Aries sun and moon is breaking through how you have augmented your individuality. And that's why it's important to take into account, of course, the previous Pisces season up until Virgo season to know the nature of you, Aries, this year versus last year. You embody the premier analogy of finishing a contract. It applies to everyone, but you embody that whole thing of being the free agent this year and then potentially signing independent 6 months from now, when, of course, we have the Sun and Neptune and Saturn all in your sign. So, of course, as the moon is going to make it from Libra to Capricorn, its entrance through Scorpio is going to give you a psychoanalytical understanding of how you are manifesting these actions you're taking towards others and what kind of depth, what kind of intimacy you can kind of peer deeper into these dealings with others. And this is where, of course, with the grand water trine to the fourth house in Cancer with Jupiter and how you are reinforcing belief systems, you are adjusting, how all of this adds more privacy and depth to who you trust with these new actions. Moon in Sagittarius is going to show you the higher meaning of where you're beginning to activate these new connections, which is a huge theme of Libra in your seventh, connecting to this awakening sense of your place of belonging, because Pluto in Aquarius over the next 20 years is going to connect you with the most woke aliens, the most extreme revolutionary villains, because you're the villain, Aries. You are the typecast villain. You can be a good villain, you can be an evil villain, or really the geniuses who are around you. See, Aries is the villain until you realize that their Aquarius best friend is actually the true villain that gets away with it all the time. But it's cool because we can just blame Aries and Gemini. That's what we do all the time. So yes, the relationships you activate now are going to funnel into your radical 11th house pipeline. And that is going all the way back to how your language and mindset, of course, is influenced. And let's go into the psychology of that, right? 11th house is friends, 7th house is relationships, 3rd house is lingo. It's your neighborhood, it's the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's your neighborhood, it's your mindset. So I have relationships in the 7th house, and the reason why the 11th house trines the 3rd house, and in between the 11th and the 3rd is the 1st house. 11th first house says, who are 5 of your friends? Who is in your 11th house? That's going to influence your 12th house of your beliefs, which will show you who you are. But then in between the 11th to the 3rd house, if all of the people in my 11th house say slang like, what it do, ting, gookle yang, you know what I'm saying, goo, you know what I'm saying, goo, then that's how my 3rd house is going to be. I'm going to be like, what's up, Jickle Yang? Like, boom. Like, if I'm just around Baltimore people, it's going to affect my 3rd house. That's where I belong. It's so very important to see these connections. So to see Pluto trining, of course, Uranus is adding an unprecedented quality of supernatural occurrence, knowledge, and we can just say at the very least, just higher knowledge. That now the ruler of Aquarius in Gemini is going to revolutionize and innovate. And it's a fancy way of saying you're going to be saying more crazy stuff. You're going to be hearing more crazy stuff. It's going to be innovating your skill sets. And these are all the things you're applying in relationships to people. So before you officially start this, right, you're going to push forward. Marilyn, I need you to chill right now. I need you to chill right now. First of all, I last like 4 or 5 minutes if I really want to. Okay. Don't play with me. Don't make me find you. You will see if I'm gonna stay a minute there or not. Do not. I know you want my attention right now. No. I can drop 10 at will now. Stop playing with me. Don't let me have a round 2. We can go forever. You're distracting me. That being said, see how she's the Libra op? Aries, be careful of your op. This is how Libra try to distract you when you out here doing the Lord's work. Don't mind that. See how she try to instigate? See how she trying to instigate so she can see if I let stop. Okay, anyway, by the time we get to the moon in Capricorn, you're going to understand how now these actions you are activating, applying the change of your behavior to deal with others, are having you get closer to your goals or are stopping you from your goals. This is going to be where you start to integrate this Libra transit. Thank you. We got rounds. That's the thing. Mars in Aries has rounds. Okay. If I get past that first round with you, I like you, and we not stopping. We go rounds, baby. Yeah, the first few rounds might be that first round might be a little quick, but after that first round, it's over for you. Chop, chop, chop. Ain't nothing you can do. What do you think? You're probably gonna tap out. Other than that, oh, see, I need to fuck with Mars Leo. I've heard, yes, see, I don't know about that yet. The Mars Aries, Mars Leo, I heard is a thing. So like, it is what it is. Good looks, Ancient Rose. I'm gonna have to research that. 10 1-minute sessions. No, the first session is probably gonna be like 3-4, and then after that, I just need a small recovery period. That's it. Now look, after we integrate this for Aries, and this goes into your 10th, 11th, and 12th, by the time we get to the full moon, this is going to really now, once again, take your existence with other people and put yourself, oh my God, put your stroke style, 30 seconds, put yourself in a position to now see how your unconscious habits and these actions you're taking are influencing who you're around. Okay. And by the time we get to the full moon, you're going to understand how much of you're going to bring to these social spaces. The first 2 weeks is your experience out there, which will adjust how much more or less authentic you need to be. All right. So by the time we come through the moon in Taurus, and now you're understanding your value to transform the situations with others, then it goes into Gemini and you're innovating your language to see the true meaning of your conversations with others. We're going to close the transit out with the moon in Cancer and then break through into Scorpio by the end of the transit. But without going too specific into the details of like the later part of the transit after the full moon, the major facet of and importance of this Libra season for you, Aries, are the new precedent of relationships you will begin to enter, and how you will now see this new precedent influence your existing relationships relative to how you are getting ready to reimagine the extent of who you are. Okay. Next, we have Leo, the Lion Kings and Queens. Oh, shit. Damn it. All right. All right. So Leo rising, Leo sun, Leo moon, natal, progressed. Of course, if you have your sun or moon here, this is going to influence. Thank you. This is going to take your time. This is going to influence, of course, the angle the planets are making to your awareness. Or your receptivity. And if you're the rising, this is going to let you know where this is playing out. Okay, so whereas Aries is now initiating this new precedent in partnerships, Leo, this is expressing this new precedent as it comes to take place with your social skills. Okay. So Leo is social, Virgo is social, Libra is social, Scorpio is social. Third house is skills. Your skills, your third house is in Libra. You have social skills. And what is Leo? The stage performer. So the stage performer pretty much does have to have social skills. That's why they walk hand in hand with Libra, the artist, the activist, the performer, the activist, Leo, Libra, and then the critical Virgo in between in the mix. So of course, we need to talk about the fact, Leo, that people want to kill you. Pause for dramatic effect. You do have Pluto opposite you, and you kind of this 20-year arc is the gun versus the lion, the machine versus the heart of the people. Whether you're an evil Leo or you're a good Leo, you're on that hit list. Ask Nick Fuentes. There was an attempt made at his life. They skipped over him. They got Libra. They're going to spin back around and get you. This is why I'm saying protect Libra at all costs. Like, the opposition to Libra is a real thing. You've seen it. Okay, Leo, you're not out of the clear too. So the Pluto opposition in Aquarius is a thing. It's not like with Aries where that's their circle of friends. This over the next 20 years is adding an extreme intensity to your interpersonal relationship dynamics with people. And all that, you know how we always talk about, oh, people are always jealous of me. People are always jealous of me. You know what I'm saying? I barely realized who he was too. People are always jealous of me. You know, you'll hear Scorpio say that. You'll hear Leo say that. You'll have Taurus say, you hear every zodiac sign say that. But you're going to hear it a lot with Leo. You're going to hear it a lot with Scorpio because fixed signs are royalty. Everyone wants what you guys have. What does Leo have? Leo has this passion and hotness that makes everything they do lit. Even if they think they're boring people, like they literally, like Sagittarius, raise the vibration of a place. It is an energy. It is a solar energy unique to them. You either got it or you don't. Okay, I don't have Leo on my chart. I'm boring as fuck. In real life, I'm boring as fuck. In fact, I like being boring. That's the problem. The problem isn't that I'm boring. I like being boring. I have so much Taurus in my chart. And it's not that Taurus is boring. I just like being boring with the Taurus. Like, it could be. I don't have Leo. I don't have Aquarius. I'm not really as cool. I don't have Scorpio other than Pluto. I'm the sauce like that. I got the sauce. But I don't have like Scorpio sauce like that. Scorpio sauce, I could just look at a woman and be like, what's up, baby? Yeah, come over to my crib tonight. What's up? And a Scorpio can do that and pull her. I do that. They'll be like, ew, he's creepy. Oh my God. My Mars and Aries saves me because I could just be spontaneous instantly and leap into some fun. But really, I just like being bored. Like, I don't like and that's what made me appreciate Leo, because Leo is genuinely fun. It is the vibration of fun. That is what it is. It is litness. It's why I can go out and have fun if there's a good show. Leo. Okay. But Leo is under attack. The freedom of expression. And the thing is, now, this idea of being hated or being jealous of is now life or death, especially in a super weird social media age where people can find out your information and dox you. Actually, that's what happened to Nick Fuentes, because he opened his Leo mouth, and Leo is the sin of pride. He did antagonize the internet. You never win against the internet. They doxed his address, and someone, after killing 2 people, made an attempt on his life. It was not his time. I'm using him as an example because if you have Leo, Sun, or Rising, it is not independent to him. Tory Lanez got locked up. Young Thug barely made it out of prison. Young Dolph is killed. Teddy Ray somehow mysteriously died. Leo is going through this intensity. The reason why I mention this as well, and if you have a Leo Sun, if you have a Leo Rising, if you have a Leo Moon even, I want you to confirm this for me, because every time I do readings with Leo, I always make sure to confirm this fact, given that you are the righteous fire. First of all, Leo is the glory of God. When I say that you are God, right? Every single zodiac sign represents an aspect of God. Aquarius is the mind of God. Okay. Uh-oh. Is my mic fucked? Aquarius is the mind of God, right? Gemini is like the words of God. Libra is like, of course, the voice or the bridge. Is there anything wrong with my mic? Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's anything wrong with my mic. Sagittarius are the eyes of God. Pisces is, of course, the presence, the soul of God, and Leo is the glory of God. Okay, this is why their sin could be pride. Every single God in its multidimensional aspect expresses itself through what you have decided to express God through. So for you, Leo, you're the heart of God. You are the heart and glory of God. The righteous fire with which you embody or have enables you to look into how cold or warm someone's heart is. And what I theorize with this that you guys have confirmed for me is that you can look into people's eyes and you can see how evil they are. Like there is a sense of the unconscious within people that a Leo or fire sign can look into, and they may not even be aware of the fact that you see evil in their eyes. Not even like you're looking for it. It's just you can see it. Okay. And that's a really weird question to ask. But I do have the feeling that Leos, especially Leo sons, can look at people and see how evil they are. They can look at people and see the lack of enthusiasm and how they try to feign. Yeah, that's amazing. Don't do that around fire signs. Water signs will feel it. Air signs will peep it. Earth signs will peep it. Fire signs see you, bruh. You can't hide your enthusiasm. I'll just be dry and shit. You can't do that fame shit. They can see a lot more. You can smell it too. Okay. So it's just something to keep in mind. The reason why I'm saying this is if you have a Leo sun rising or moon, right? Now that Pluto is opposite your sun, right? Right? Okay. I want you to confirm and comment the number 7 if since January of 2024 you've noticed this collectively throughout so much more people, almost as if you're seeing sleeper cell agents that can awaken in people, almost if you're seeing this extreme detachment be in front of more people than ever, almost as if you're the last real one left. Now that is vague. Like there's so many people, regardless of zodiac sign, who's going to feel this idea that, oh, everyone has changed and I'm the only one of my kind. But I did want to say this as far as your experience with Pluto opposite. This is by design. And you're going to be experiencing this so much more intensely as Pluto progresses into Aquarius. And yes, Shelly Bombshell, I love that you said that. So for people who are born with Pluto on the sun, you have X-ray vision. So your entire life is going to be awakening others and seeing that. I needed you to say that. Thank you so much. So you did confirm that for me. And that's very important because at least having it on your sun, you carry it in your awareness, have it going through the progression and opposition, which Virgo, you are going to go through starting like 2044 to 2068. Young Fly said it very well. This is testing your integrity because now why this is important is you're not necessarily just dealing with other people. You're dealing with the collective unconscious that can possess people who are in front of you and use them to murder you or to hurt you or to use you or to suppress your light. And that is the dynamic as performers. Like this is going to change the way you perform on stage because now more than ever, right? People may try to kill you while you're performing. There's more of an unhingedness in the society, because Leo is the performer. So Aquarius 11th house is going to be the audience. Pluto is now in the sign of the audience. And I like how he mentioned you're going to notice abnormal actions towards you out of nowhere. And if you've been noticing that, guys, and you commented 7, and you're seeing people uncharacteristically just express that, they probably had unconscious energy against you, not even personally towards you, or it is personal. Right? But it's putting you in a position to just be very careful, because if you have too much trust, which Saturn in Pisces is testing trust issues and who you keep around you, because you have to remember you're a star. You are the superstar of the zodiac. Like Aquarius is a superstar. Leo, the North Node, honestly, is not a real point. So like you can factor in the North Node, but transits to the North Node aren't really as felt like transits to the sun. You don't identify with your North Node, for example, like you identify with your sun sign. So you can factor it in. And if you have a Leo North Node, you're going to have a nodal opposition soon. So that's going to complete the mission you started 10 years ago. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. And yes, I'm looking forward I want to step more into the psychic ability and to do more mediumship and stuff like that. But we're going to figure it out, because I don't want to just be making shit up, but new levels, new devils. And the thing that's important, Leo, I didn't even talk about Libra season yet. I didn't even talk about Libra. We have to talk about Aquarius in your 7th house, because we're going to have that party. We're going to have Mars. We're going to have Venus. We're going to have, of course, as you can see, 6 months from now, your 9th house is about to be lit up. And the next 2.5 years with Saturn and 13 years with Neptune is going to ascend your philosophical approach and transcend how it is you really elevate your identity and show people the authenticity of who you are. Your religion is yourself. This is what can lend Leo to come off as narcissists, but they teach people how powerful they are. 9th house Aries is the most authentic and original philosophical path, regardless of how you express that, but it exalts the meaning of who you are through said actions. Okay. So relative to that, why that's important is the party that we're going to have in your 7th house. Okay. Coming into January 24th, the day after the conjunction, Mars, Pluto, Sun, Mercury, and Venus with your ops. Partying with your ops. And the reason why that's crazy is this is going to continue to form by the time the North Node enters Aquarius coming into now next year. This is what's going to look like 2027. You're going to have Jupiter in the South Node in your sign, Pluto in the North Node. If you're Leo rising, if you're Leo sun, this is the most important thing that's happening right now. You're getting ready to debut. That's why I'm saying, like, take the rest of the year off. Like, Jupiter is in your 12th house. You like the season. You are getting ready to pioneer season series. Remember, I keep talking about we finished the old season series. You finished signing with old management. Well, now there's new management. Well, now there's a new television show series. And now with all the new series of television shows, there's new main characters. We have the Ready Player One's Aries, and then we have new lead role characters. There's new television shows. We need main characters in these television shows. So 2026, 2027 with Jupiter in your sign is preparing for one of the greatest debuts of Leo we have ever seen, because this is going to set the next 10, 20 years of the new programs of the new world and new era that is going to fully involve you guys as social leaders to inspire others. And that's why you're going to be a huge threat. And that's why you're going to be the hugest threat. And that's why with North Node and Pluto opposite in Aquarius, you're going to be unlocking revolution in society. Whether because you were murdered or whether because you put yourself out there against that risk and really shook the community, especially if you're a Leo rising, especially if you're a Libra sun. Okay. So with that being said, knowing that everything you're going through now is preparing you for an aspect like this gives so much more meaning and credence to now Jupiter finishing out your 12th. I always like to say with Jupiter in the 12th house, this is releasing, of course, your unconscious habits. I did not know, right? I've seen so many defeated minded Leos this year. Thank you, bro. Thank you. And redemption is the word. From Leo rising Drake, who is supposed to really just get out the way. Like a lot of Leo risings like him are going to have a revival. All the Leos you think are losing right now, all the Leo risings that are falling out of favor, that's because out of their 12th house, they're supposed to let go of their pride and just release, drown in those waters. Once it goes into Leo, they're going to be called upon to heat this bitch up again. And only you guys can do that. Only you guys can do that. And another reason why that's very significant is, once again, when Jupiter went through my 12th house, because I'm 27 degree Taurus rising. So when Jupiter was going through out of Aries into Taurus, I did not know that I was going to become the peace dealer. Remember, 12th house is spiritual beliefs, right? So like, I thought I was going to become a theologian. I was trying to do get rich quick schemes through affiliate marketing and trying to figure out how to make money on the internet. I did not know shit about astrology until during that period in trying to become a theologian. I changed a lot of my spiritual beliefs. Pluto was going into my 9th house in this religious house, and I didn't realize that I had to do that in order to release old dogmatic beliefs. So then what happened when Jupiter went through my 1st house in Gemini? I became the peace dealer. And that is why I'm here with you right now. Crazy shit. And that's why every time I see Jupiter in someone's 12th house, they're usually going through the same thing I did. They don't know. Like when I was going through that, I didn't know I was going to become the peace dealer. I was depressed. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? Like I'm in college studying engineering. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. I don't know what success is supposed to mean. I'm pretty much just trying to figure out what the next step is. Like it felt like so much was releasing and falling apart in my life. Shout out to Astrolotta too. Shout out to KRS Astrology. Shout out to Marie Moore. All those people during that period, back when the Leo King was just David Palmer Astrology, doing a fucking horoscope every fucking day, the good old times. The thing is very important is I had to surrender. That's why I'm so big on surrender, because that was the very last thing I wanted to hear. What the fuck does surrender mean? What do you mean let go? And yet, if I can look back, all I had to do was just surrender and be. Knowing what I know now, there was nothing that I could do in order to stop myself from getting here, because the 12th house had to release what I believed I was going through. Things had to fall apart in my life so that I could eventually even make this decision. And that's why I get so excited when I see people are going through 12th house transits. It feels like shit. Okay, it feels like I don't know what's next. What used to work for me isn't working for me anymore. Like now that it went back around, what did my 12th house Jupiter look like now? The sales that I used to get, I'm barely getting anymore. I'm probably this close from getting a part-time job, which I have no problem doing, but I'm probably going to start looking for jobs like next month. But it's cool, or next week or whatever. I, unlike the first time, right now, I've been a peace dealer for 12 years. So I've seen that this cycle has closed out. I'm still going to be doing it because now the next stage is expansion. I'm going to be building the app and everything. But going through the 12th house, I still had to deal with some of those doubts. Like, well, what's next for me? Because what's currently working, it's not really working the way it did. And the purpose of that is to force some kind of change, to now look at different options. Now that Jupiter is in my 2nd house, I just filed a suit. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the process of getting certain money back from the IRS. Like the way forward is a lot clearer now. And there's going to be a lot more liquidity. There's so much more moving forward. But getting through that 2nd 12th house was difficult. And for you, you have this in Cancer. This isn't me as an individual. You have a social personality. You're the king. You're the queen. So this is releasing a whole host of emotions that you have kept suppressed for the longest. Because remember, you had Pluto opposite your 12th house for over a decade, which is allowing some of your more unconscious emotions to actually breathe more than ever. And by the way, yeah, for those of you who would actually like a live reading, you are more than welcome to order one if you click the link in the description box below. Wait a minute. Huh. Yeah, if you click the link in the description box below, you're going to, thank you, Deneen. You're going to see the queue to join if you guys want me to look into Libra season for your chart. Not necessary, but it is available for you. So with that being said, okay, Libra, the Leo, this 12th house Cancer is having you release old feelings. And the reason why that's very significant is that as Jupiter will go into Leo July of next year, this is going to begin to completely expand a new persona, a new main lead character. And knowing that ahead of time, you have to have grace with yourself, Leo, especially now that we're in Libra season. So for you, the 8th to 2nd house axis here was representative of unlocking the social value you have in Virgo in order to invest in those who believe in your worth. 8th house Pisces is very nebulous. And since 2023, I have been promising you that if you trust the wrong people in your life, it's going to cost you everything. Classic example of this is Young Thug. Saturn, he had his return, and through the 8th house of trust, he realized there's probably little people in his circle he could trust, and now he feels like he's lost everything. That was his Saturn karma. All right. It's going to be different for everyone. I'm not saying everyone's going to betray you. For some of you, you drew proper boundaries through this 8th house lesson, and now maybe you're with a married partner who you can consolidate more wealth with. Or you're with a married partner who is scheming to steal everything from you from the beginning and will divorce and take the kids too. So like this is very important because the 8th house is shared resources. This is where you and your partner merge bank accounts. And Saturn going through there and unlocking that is securing a level of wealth that maybe you've dreamed of relative to how much more you can really connect with the collective around you. And now that all of this is transitioning into Aries from March up until September, now that you've gone through the 2nd house in Virgo, this is unlocked how much wealthier you are. And it's important to really illustrate that because Taurus season over the past 6 months was very significant, considering that we had Sun conjunct Uranus in your 10th house, which we cannot overlook. We had this aspect in your 10th house, which was the very final activation of wealth for you. So now Uranus, drop a mic if you want me to put a pick up. Yeah, let's see what the pick's looking like. So the reason why that's significant is now that Uranus is going to be in 11th house, this is going to innovate the support that you have, especially online, giving Uranus's connection to the internet and technology. So this opens up throughout the rest of the decade virality that you may not be used to, with Pluto intensifying the quality of how much of the collective you allow to connect with you. And that's where by the time Jupiter comes into your sign and the North Node goes into the 7th, you're awakening the partnerships that match you, that you can trust, that you're meant to go through. Do you now see why Saturn through your 8th is making sure you can trust the right people? Because over the rest of the decade, the amount of people who have access to you, the amount of people who you connect with is exponentially going to be higher than it's ever been. So already famous Leos are going to be even more famous. And some of you Leos who don't know you're famous yet, you're going to realize you've always been famous. I have to once again say Uranus in Gemini is virality for you. It's putting your word out there and it goes viral. It's putting your music out there and it goes viral. Crazy viral. Okay. And it doesn't have to go viral overnight. So this is going to talk about an unexpected, unconventional sense of true supporters that will continue to push forward and ride on your behalf. So this is where by Virgo season, in your second house, don't ask me what that sound was. This was where now the 10th house Uranus conjunction liquidated through the eclipse. So now you're aware of how valuable that cycle of wealth was. This is strictly going to be different from next year, where we activate the next cycle and push forward with that. And that's what brings us to Libra season. So relative to this year's Libra season, you are not only developing how you actually communicate this philosophical nature of your identity, but as Saturn and Neptune will come in here next year and have you practice what you preach, it's going to have you really bear responsibility for this authority that comes with being fully yourself. And now the individual actions you take Aries season that define your philosophy are going to be the social actions Libra season that express your social skills and your liberal mindset, whether you're a conservative or liberal. The balanced attitude and social skills that present your performance and talents to others. What's also important is that Pluto opposite Leo is this breakthrough. So the Sagittarius signature with the trine of the sun to Pluto and Aquarius is the final part of this breakthrough that every year for the next 20 years will have the conjunction in your seventh. It'll break through in your sign. Every year that's adjusting how you're matching this awakening of the crowd. So every late January, February for the next 20 years, as a performer, you're going to see a more extreme quality of your crowd. And then by your birthday, you're matching the crowd's energy. And then it's going to break through and reflecting how much more money you come into, and then how much more powerfully you have to express yourself to match that crowd. And that's the development of your skills and abilities that will take into account the extreme quality of who you're performing to and the unconventional support you will be coming into the rest of the decade with Uranus and Gemini. So with Venus that's in your second, Venus that's going to be polishing up your money house is 9 of Pentacles in the tarot, and you're going to be getting paid. Okay. And this is going to put you in a position, all right, to whatever. Jesus Christ, he's hung like, okay, please. First of all, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Someone got the best back shots they've ever had in their life. So I don't understand their words, not mine. So I don't understand why you're talking shit. It is what it is. That being said, you want to be excited about this because this is going to put you in a position to realistically now consolidate the value that over the next 6 months, you're going to be investing in those who believe in your dreams. Okay. And this is going to put you in a position to realistically, I don't ever listen to me if I say I don't like drama. This is crazy. I'm so easily distracted. This is going to not only consolidate this, but I think you can look forward to great returns. While Mars is going to already transit your 4th house, and with Mercury that is processing what exactly you're developing in these social skills, Mars is going to psychoanalyze the depth of these social spaces you're going to have the courage to be more comfortable in. But basically, Leo, this is definitely going to not only develop what type of mindset you'll be taking, because this is closing out the old phase, mind you, a lot of this attitude is challenged with the square Libra will make to the 12th house of Cancer. So this is still just releasing everything. Once Jupiter goes into Leo and then we come into Libra season next year, now you're developing social skills that step into this re-evolution of you, this next version of you. So this Libra season is just going to show you how much you've grown over the past 12 years since 2017, since 2015, when Jupiter was last in your sign, and how you're this unconscious competence of how you have fully come to understand feelings you might have suppressed or influence greatly your unconscious habits will directly now, of course, also challenge your mindset and attitude. So you're going to be really expressing these new precedents relative to superpowers you are activating this season, and how these are going to prepare for you to fully step into when we start these new world order contracts. So Leo, let me know if this report was accurate for you, because I feel like I said a whole lot, but I didn't really get the true point across because I was just saying too much. But I think I did kind of get the main element there. I want to make sure we got you, because it's very important for you. Sagittarius, I feel like you just getting away with everything. Sagittarius is going to be very different for you. I'm not going to say you're not going through difficulties, but Sagittarius, you feel like the villain of a story that got away with the crime and no one even knows you're the villain. And I'm so fucking jealous of you. I'm so jealous of you. Like I'm kind of realizing you kind of pointed out Gemini is the fall guy. So people think we're involved in some shit we have nothing to do with, and y'all clean got away with it. That being said, I'm going to be vague so I don't really sound like I know what I'm talking about, but thank you. Oh, good shit. Yes, good shit. Appreciate you guys. That's every day of a Sagittarius, y'all. Like, I really don't understand how you guys are finessing the entire world right now effortlessly. But that being said, all right. Yes, you tricked everybody and it worked. I mean, to be honest, Gemini is so crazy. Sagittarius will point the finger at us and we're saying crazy ass shit. So we don't beat the allegations. Like, we don't help our case, right? But we'll be like, I'll say it again. But it's just like, Jesus Christ. Okay. So let's go. Sagittarius. Let's flip this on its head, because now you had Jupiter evolve your partnerships. Okay. The lady who I've been telling you, I've emailed and she hasn't emailed me back. She's still my, we're still together in my head. And like, whether she emails me or not, she's always going to be like, my princess. You feel me? I'm always, I have in my head, we're going to somehow link up magically. And, we've been connecting in the 5th dimension. Don't you love that twin flame cop out? It's where it's totally not loserish at all. It's like, I can't meet you in the 3D, but it's cool because I can meet you in the 6D. That's at least 3 years of curving, bro. She probably don't even know I exist. I can't say she curved me because she probably don't even know I exist, but it's cool. We be connecting in the 7D, bro. We be connected in the astral realm, fam. So I ain't even tripping. In fact, I talk to woman's higher self now. I just talk to the higher self. I'm like, you know what? Let me romance your higher being, and then she can hook me up with you. And hey, I have interesting results. We shall see. Okay, twin flame cop out. We connecting in the astral realm. Hey, I'll take it. Okay. So Jupiter evolved y'all relationships. I think we need to talk about Jupiter and Gemini, because for a short year, you did have this expansion of how you can just talk shit more to other people and what more you can say and communicate with other people. And this is a quintessential breakthrough since 2019, when Jupiter was last in your sign. And now that it's going through your 8th, this is the second part of this Jupiterian breakthrough before Leo, where you're going to shine your light on stage. And then when it goes into Virgo, you complete the evolution cycle. So this is transforming your wealth. This is expanding who you deal with. And this is putting you in a position to really dive deeply in who and what you can trust. So now Uranus, yo ass, which is in Gemini, over the rest of the decade is going to take this expanded room of what more you can achieve and do with other people, and it's going to innovate it. It's going to attract the craziest Geminis to you. It's going to attract geniuses to you. It's going to innovate all your current and existing relationships and bring this undercurrent of new innovative relationships. Now, we don't live in a perfect world, so it's probably going to be a lot of crazy ass motherfuckers who are just going to be seeing you online, in person. If you're okay with that, you do have this sniper bullet, so you just might have to shoot people in the face. Now, we do have Pluto in your third house, okay? And with Pluto in your third house, to me, this is you awakening aimbot, which I still don't think is fair. Aquarius, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, giving Sagittarius aimbot, but hey, they already had homing bullets before. That being said, this is awakening an extreme sense of claircognizance, adding knowledge to what you already see. And I truly believe Sagittarius is walking, talking chaos magic. You and Pisces are the high magics connecting with the entire collective, making you universal of a being. A classic example of this is how in less than a year, Andrew Tate, with Saturn and Uranus in his Sagittarius sign, almost took over the world and impacted the minds of males, and had the media have to gang up on him in order to cancel him. I'm not saying this in defense of him. I'm indifferent. I do not like or dislike him. I just saw people had to shut him down. Like, this is how magical Sagittarius is. Like that. They are a wildfire that if the elites don't step in, they will take over thought and dominate ideology, bro. This is the philosopher, okay? And he's not the only one of his kind that does this. Whether Sag Moon, Sag Rising, Sag Sun, the Sagittarius is a motherfucking problem. But they are godlike. This is the first of the 4 god signs. So now, relative to this sense of course, development, Uranus was not last in Sagittarius Uranus was last in Sagittarius 87. It wasn't until 1988 that it went into Capricorn. So from 87 finally to now, this is breaking through a level of genius that can verbalize much of the visions that they've had. If you understand that these people are magical beasts and they're not really humans, you will understand more of their psychology, bro, the males and the females. And why that's also very important is because now there is a much more fantastical, metaphysical, supernatural quality of Sagittarians that is awakening that you will not understand under the lens of postmodern materialist reductionist science and postmodern culture. Sagittarius is going to come off as almost anti-cultural if you take more of their primordial supernatural nature, which is really just wild and here to burn everything. Okay, like the Gen Z Pluto Sagittarius generation, who basically took over Nepal, burned it down and rebuilt it. Okay, so there's going to be more of a radical nature you see in Sagittarians and how they actually approach their relationships and how they approach their day-to-day that will be terrifying if they know exactly their power and what to do with it. And now that Pluto has finished through their second house, they've pretty much awakened everything they need to do. Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn have gone through their second. Their bankroll is set. So over the next 30 years, like the contracts they're going to come into, like that's the thing about Sag. They have Capricorn. They have God power. Every Sag rising has God powers. Every Sag Sun and even Sag Moon to a degree, but Sag Sun has that 30 to 60 degree in Capricorn. Like there is that foundation there. So now Aquarius is awakening them to know their value like never before. Some of them are going to feel betrayed and cheated, and they're going to take back everything that's theirs. And that doesn't have to make sense. They can make shit up. All right. They make a lot of shit up. And for those of you who would like a reading, you're welcome to, of course, order on my chart. Shout out to Twin Starseed. I shouted you out the first 5 minutes of this video. Please check that out. You don't have to, though. But yes, for those of you who would like a live reading, link in the description box below. If you want one, please send your chart if you do, but it's not necessary. For you Sag risings, this is very important because now Uranus has finished automating your lifestyle, and the unconventional innovation of your habits and the values that constitute your lifestyle is enabling you to innovate your lifestyle and how much more advanced and unconventionally you live your life. That is everything you're going to apply, all right, magically towards other people moving forward. So by the time we get to Libra is putting you in a position to align your entourage. And that's why this is important, because 6 months from now, the new world order cycles we're going to have with Chiron finishing out in Aries is going to reimagine your creativity and your inner child. You see, what happened to Sagittarius I love that. What happens, of course, with Sagittarius is at some point, Sag rising, Sag sun, you started playing too much to the crowd. You forgot why people fell in love with you in the first place, Sagittarius, because you created original shit that no one else could match. You created a standard, and now once you got people accustomed to this standard, you started playing to the audience, and slowly but surely you fell the fuck off. Because you forgot that, oh my God, Malika B, it's been a minute. Nice to see you here. You forgot that what made us love you is that you don't give a fuck about what any of us think, and you do what you want. Maybe you took a risk and did what you want, and it didn't give you the results you wanted, and you just started chasing the crowd. What this is doing is it's returning you to your inner child, Sagittarius, and you are going back to the drawing board of everything you love about who you are and your creative talents. And you are going to have the audacity. Malika, I have never hated you a single day in my life. I had always admired you. I just stopped hearing for you, so I just figured maybe you were busy or something happened. But yes, I'm so glad to hear from you and that you're doing well. This is beautiful. Yeah, Sagittarius and Sag rising, you are being put, and even Sag moon, you are revisiting and returning to everything creative about you and going back to the drawing board of healing this inner child. And by 2026, reimagining the discipline that comes through in learning guitar again and really like playing to what you love. You're going to say, fuck the crowd. I'm going to create what I like, and you're going to be lit again like you've never been lit before. I'm not trying to diss you. I know I said you fell off. That doesn't apply to all of you. And some of you never fell for that trap, and you've always played to what you love. Because as the creator, you are the collective leader who is creating reality real time. And that needs to have you foster your heart, right? And then put yourself in a position with the, you know what I'm saying, opposition of Libra in the 11th to make sure that this original creativity matches your audience. And this is very, very, very important, guys. 5th house Aries is Sagittarius means original creativity, original talent. All right. Before people try and copy your swag. So before we step into that, this next 6 months ahead is revisiting who you have in your entourage. What are the actions you're taking? Remember, this Virgo season was your 10th house as a Sag rising. For you Sag moons and for you Sag suns, Virgo is 270 degrees, 10th house. You have completed that cycle. So you have analyzed how you have achieved your goals. And now Libra is the rewards from your career. How do you apply this behavior forward with the right people who are meant to achieve this success with you. And this is supposed to be the grand reward for the end of this cycle, which for the 10th house is with Saturn in your fourth. So Neptune and Saturn retrograding back into your fourth is reevaluating the belief systems that support this vision of yourself. All right. Especially for those of you who have accepted and know you're God. You are a creator, God, goddess. All right. Now, the aspect of God that Sagittarius are the all-seeing eyes of God. This is the supreme observation that sees into the meaning. You guys are like the eyes, and I dare say also the meaning. You're what God means to this existence and reality. So why that's very significant is now next year, Libra season, you're going to see who's around your corner now that you're activating your own label or you are developing original talent. But this year, you are seeing now that you're supporting this foundation, Saturn and Neptune in the fourth could be real estate, could be working from home, but it's supporting this autonomy within your own beliefs that support the vision of who you are. And that's where I'm saying there's a more supernatural quality awakening for the collective universals that are going to seem more antisocial. But it's not that you're antisocial. It's that you can't be around mundanes, muggles, and normies. You kind of being around people that hold you back to what you've truly been, nerf you in a way that do not enable you to fully break through. And it's realistically going to influence, shout out Sophia for joining the Eternal Vibe Tribe, how realistically moving forward, this powerfully, you feel this rejection, right? Thankful to be here in resonance, fall off as an allegory. Thank you. Raw, right? Because you've seen people reject the same original creativity that you've put in because, you know what I'm saying? It didn't follow the crowd, but you're not here to do that. You and Aquarius set the trends. Libra makes it popular, but like you're the ones who kind of take it global. So whether in your local space or in a global or social space. So, this 11th house transit is from now until the full moon going to activate how the influence of people around you, of course, take into account what success you've unlocked in order to secure this deeper foundation. And the importance of the North Node in your fourth, the North Node will eventually go into Aquarius and it's going to unlock your supernatural abilities. And you're going to just be able to know what you're seeing, see visions of the future. You're not going to have like that's so Raven gaff. That's the whole point of this period. It's like you had that montage, but now it's like, oh, I know what that vision means. Now I know what I'm seeing. It's like, and y'all going to be more dangerous than ever. But you need to have this integrity of belief in yourself because you're tapping into a metaphysical supernatural quality. You're tapping into an existence that science will not catch up to in a minute. And you may be responsible for innovating this field of science or popular thought or philosophy. And that requires a radical sense of faith in yourself that will look delusional, that will feel fucking crazy. But let me tell you something about God. God sounds delusional. The devil sounds realistic. I'm going to say it 2 more times for dramatic effect. God sounds delusional. The devil sounds realistic. God sounds delusional. The devil sounds realistic, especially in a material world like this. You would have to think like a Satanist in order to sound rational and realistic in this day of age that only bigs up the material, unlike you, Sagittarius, that sees the spirit. That's why I told you Leo can see who's evil. Sagittarius can see your aura. And they've awakened from 95 to 2008. It's one of the most controversial events that have ever happened. A lot of Sagittarians will not tell you that they right now can see your aura. They can see what color your aura is. They can see your personality expressed through the fluctuations of your aura. They can see the quality of how your power level is expressed through your aura. They can literally divine and read you through your aura, and they will not tell you. Some of them act like, oh, that's not even real. Like, but these people can hear colors, smell sounds, and see auras. Pisces too, but Pisces will see your soul. Pisces is a whole nother level of this. So like once we get to the collectives, they may not even process it as seeing aura. Maybe they call it something different, but eventually the North Node will leave Pisces and go into Aquarius. And before you begin to unlock these supernatural abilities, it's very important to, of course, have this foundation of beliefs that we really will kind of break through. And that's where Libra season is going to see who is in your corner. Venus, that's in your 10th, polishing this facet of your 10th, is going to really polish the career successes you have over the past 30 months began to achieve, and put you into a lot of opportunity through this as well. And yeah, by the time you get through the full moon, through your 5th house, and you're understanding what creativity over the next 6 months to develop and with who, that'll prepare you for Aries season 2026, where you're now activating this new world order cycle and putting yourself in a position to now moving forward, coming into the new moon in Libra, activate new friendships, take the existing support you have in these social spaces and decide to move forward with them. But remember, this year is merely phasing out the old cycles. This is going to really shift how you're going to awaken moving forward when 2026 we begin the new cycles. And by the time we have Sun, Pluto, Venus, Mercury, and the moon in Aquarius and Mercury in Aquarius in your 3rd house, this is going to not only awaken the most supernatural sense of your supernatural abilities, and let me actually show you this, but coming into that eclipse in Pisces, this is going to revisit how much you've entirely changed your belief in yourself and the beliefs that support your vision of yourself. And for the North Node, of course, to go into Aquarius. And then by the time Jupiter is in Leo, you're showcasing these supernatural abilities. And you're going to see this in the form of people showing these miracles, satanic miracles or legit miracles. You're going to see an outpouring of abilities showcased on these social media sites with more. If you see people online doing telekinesis and manipulating the weather, yeah, as of now we can say, oh, that's just fake. It's going to be less and less fake looking. You're going to see more clear instances of this. You're going to see more instances of this explained by science and what mechanics are enabling these things to happen. And this is going to exponentially continue to break through more and more and more. So that's what I have, of course, for the Fire Tribe. You guys are amazing. And yes, we're going to do the live readings. Of course, shout out to Janarian, our resident Sag rising with the Aqua Moon and Cancer Sun. So as a Sag rising, bro, Libra, we know, is in your 11th house. You have Mars transiting your 12th. You have Jupiter that's close to your Venus in your 8th house. And that's going to lead into a great return of investment coming into Capricorn season as a Sag rising once we step into your 2nd house. Another reason why that's very significant for you has a lot to do now with this square of Jupiter in your 8th in Cancer and the transiting Libra, Mercury, and Sun through your 11th. This is going to take this expansion of who you're trusting and this evolution of your spirit, which now your progressed Sun is 29 degrees, by the way. So this as a progressed Capricorn rising, this is also with your MC progressed in Libra breaking through this season who you achieve success with. So who's in your circle of friends and what actions are you taking to achieve success? And what's cool about 1997 is you guys have Chiron at the end of Libra. So now your Chirons are opposing transiting Chiron, which is breaking through since birth a lot of the social healing that you were put on this earth to do relative to how you heal your own creative inner child individually. And this is where with Saturn and the nodes in your 4th, which is even more important for 97 because you guys have North Node in Virgo. This is completing what you started with the previous nodal return 10 years ago, which for you, you're destined for success. So this is going to break through into more personal, private support and break through the foundation, unlocking this social support with real people who are meant to really guide you and walk with you to come into success. This is even more important, bro, because you're going to start to have your Saturn return coming into the next couple of years, which as a Saturn in the fifth will provide stability for your creative endeavors. So the best thing you're doing is you're still making music. And you're not quitting or being frustrated because things may not be moving quickly or big when you've been on the flow the whole time and you just want to keep up doing what you're doing. Libra season may connect you with the right people, albeit the square to the 8th house, which is now your progress 7th house, will make sure you're not doing too much with the wrong people and that the people who are in your corner really value you for the right reasons. And that's going to lead in a Scorpio season, which will, of course, release unconscious habits. But as Mars is going through there, it will reveal deeper mysteries around how you have innovated all of your habits, once again, as a Sag rising. And I think you have a lot to look forward to relative to that, especially once we have, of course, the next Pluto conjunction that will have a stellium on your 3rd house, and you will feel as a hidden ruler, right? The vessel of Uranus and Jupiter in its rulership of Aquarius, awakening these abilities. All right. So ahead of time in Libra, this is going to have you apply this relative to how psychic you are around these people and how this facilitates more connectivity. And I think that should be amazing. All right, so next we have Jessica. Let's see. Beautiful. Beautiful. And yes, I'm glad you're digesting the alien constructs. It's cool relative to our generation too, because we're going to innovate a lot of these findings and we are the next generation to embody this, especially you having Neptune on your rising. I want to do a documentary with everyone born 83 and 84. There are certain years like 1971, 1964, anything after 95, especially 2003. 83 and 84, I have chills when I talk about it. You guys are one of the most interesting years ever because you guys got the North Node Gemini. You're the truther generation. You have Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, South Node, Sagittarius. That is mind-blowing to me. And to me, that is one of the most magical aspects we will ever see. And you embodying this as a Sagittarius rising, or if you have a Sag moon or a Sag sun, amazing. But you embodying this Neptunian instrumentation dissolves your collective universal embodiment to, I think, tap into the vision of the entire universe and focus and beam that straight to people. So it's like you're able to tell people the truth in a way that penetrates them ridiculously. And I think it's dope that you and Janarian are both Cancer suns. Like he's 2 degrees, you're 1 degree with the Sag rising, right? Except he's born like 97 and then you have the 83. So you also have the moon here. Oh my God. So you're also a vessel of this too. And it cannot understate alone how this ascension carries forth in how you know, destiny chose you to play this role, which I think is very, very, very important. Very, 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 very important, especially relative to now Uranus that has made it opposite in Gemini. And over the next couple of years, we'll make a perfect opposition, late 2026, early 2027. So this is going to begin to apply this innovation of your lifestyle. And now with your MC in Libra, this is going to conclude on how, with the South Nodal eclipse, you have changed your behavior to align with the belief systems that support your vision of yourself and fully unlock your 3rd eye, and how you can rest on the psychic potential of your imagination and the intangible nature, which will feel delusional, of how you just sense what's going on with who you're dealing with and what's going to happen. So now that you've fleshed it out really in Virgo, you're applying this unlocking of success relative to who you're achieving this success with and how that will greatly impact your legacy. I think what's also cool about 83 is that Saturn and Pluto are conjunct at the end of Libra, which once again is so goddamn badass. Oh, thank you for giving me the sun, moon, and rising. I definitely got that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So once again, why that's very significant really goes into now, unlike Janarian, at the end of Libra season, especially where Mars is right now at the end of Libra and coming into Scorpio, this will, of course, not necessarily only impact this extreme karmic responsibility to maintain these social spaces as this creator goddess, but eventually Saturn will oppose Libra 2027 when we reach the end of Saturn Aries. And this will break through the Saturn return. So this year and next year, where by next year, Aries season, we're activating this Saturn cycle. This is really just going to conclude on how you've broken through since 2019. And now Jupiter is coming into your 8th house and how you're evolving your partnerships and how this evolution of your partnerships and spirit that enables you to feel what more you can do and who you trust opens up greater wealth, but also challenges with this expansion of who you're connecting with, how that fits into your social circle, right? It's almost like you meet new people, but how do they mix with my current friends? And how does their influence add or frustrate, in a sense, who I even connect with, which is also very, very, very important. So, I mean, there is a generational difference relative to the difference of years, but as far as the 11th house, we are concluding the cycle that you started appropriately last year, December, and this is going to bring into great perspective not only how you have developed yourself and with who you have developed yourself with, but also putting you in a position realistically to now that we are after the South Nodal eclipse, really begin to apply this breakthrough of how this change and accomplishment of your career goals are impacting the rewards of who you're achieving them with, what kind of actions you're taking with the right people, and preparing you for the next cycles over the next 2 years that will very extremely awaken more capability. For example, your progressed rising is 5 degrees Aquarius. So now as a high queen, this is going to awaken so much more powerfully and strongly this knowledge of self, applying all the Sagittarius stellium in your chart and embodying the visions that you've seen, knowing more what to do with them, and being more of instrumental influence in your community as a result. So I hope that's accurate for you. Namely, this is going to challenge the integrity you maintain in these social spaces where you will come into more influence and people are going to want more proximity towards you because even they can sense the let's say success that you are breaking through into. Okay. That being said, okay, next we have, of course, Leo sun, let's see, Aries moon, and I guess Libra rising. So let me configure this to Libra rising. Let me see if I can get the date here. Actually, no, it's cool. It's cool. So we see this is 1 degree Leo sun. And with the 1 degree Leo sun, the Aries moon seems to be, of course, in the beginning of Aries. So as a Libra rising, this is beautiful. You are not only reinstating your personality. It's nice to know you were born with, yes, I do have it up here. We see Pluto Libra, Neptune Sagittarius, 29 degrees Saturn Leo is very impressive. I'm just going to be completely honest. Mars in Virgo and Venus. So you're due for a Chiron return. And because you embody Pluto, because you have this Plutonian embodiment, this can be very, of course, intimidating. I think, there's always Gothic themes aligned with Pluto, but this is really going to be the intense nature of your personality that now that it is transiting near your 5th house in Aquarius is going to begin to translate that harsh, very difficult square that it was through Capricorn. So, as an Aries moon, Leo sun, you are the original golden child. You are the original performer. And this is preparing for Neptune, which is transcending your soul, and Saturn, that's going to construct more this receptivity to go through your seventh. In fact, as a Libra rising, right, you have unlocked your dream life and birth to love. Please let me know if this is accurate for you. 2023, when Saturn entered Pisces, from 2023 to 2025, you were disciplining the belief systems that form your behavioral patterns and how you live your life so that you can live your dream life. And now that the North Node is unlocking this, it is bringing elements from March to September of what you have to do to create this lifestyle. And through the eclipse last month has made it real, has released and exchanged unconscious competence of you living this dream life and released old habits so that now you are that person. So let's say back in Pisces, it's like, my dream life is to be the greatest guitar player ever. And you've been practicing. Virgo season happened. You've mastered the guitar. So now Libra rising, your identity has changed. You're now a master guitar player. You have now incorporated this shift in your behavior, which now applies in your social personality. Now, why that's important, and I'm so glad that that actually resonates with you, is because once Saturn and Neptune go direct at the end of the year, at the end of Sagittarius season, as they're going to go through your seventh house in Aries, what this is going to do is it's going to apply this integrity of your behavior into your relationships. It's going to reimagine and transcend how you form relationships relative to this extreme power of your social personality. And why that's also very significant is that normally during a period like this, one gets married, one gets divorced, one gets into very important business partnerships. Okay. I love that. We Gen X old heads weren't Gen X for that alphabet. We were Gen X like Malcolm X, okay? And they had to run a lot of psyops. I'm so sure if you guys had internet during your period, so much more would be exposed to, but or like at least like we do, but like or like we have internet and stuff, or Gen Z does. But yeah, I think what's also very significant for you is also taking into account the Venus return that is currently happening for you. And you have Uranus in Scorpio. So you have this, natural healing that can automatically know where to touch people and shift that energy. All of this has been opposed and it's getting ready to break through and harvest so much more powerfully moving forward. So even knowing you have your North Node 29 degrees Virgo, now that Saturn is going through that South Node and you're unlocking this karmic opposition, it's like you're completing a mission that you've had a while ago in order to secure not only this dream life, but now in order for other people to learn from you how they can live the dream life. And the major facet around this, especially as a Leo sun, because you're the main character, by the way, this is putting you in a position. It's funny. You're the main character that has the personality of the supporting role character, because Libra is supporting role. Leo's the main character, right? You're like the classic personality of the main character. But this may come through with people trying to doubt you. And what's also important, my friend, is that Pluto is 1 degree opposite your sun. So the 0 degree Leo suns and the 1 degree Leo suns, you guys are going through the grill. You guys are feeling this opposition first, and everything that Leos are going to go through, you're experiencing it first. So when everything happens to other Leos, you've already gone through it. Right before everyone even knows what this shift is happening, you're experiencing this opposition and intensity. And because you have the integrity, which is very cool, you have your sun in the same sign as Saturn, you can handle the pressure. And now that can allow other people to project on you, because that Pluto opposition is going to be people who idolize you. And then because they can't control you, they're going to openly hate on you. You're going to see uncharacteristic behaviors of people trying to openly humiliate you. And that's because you're queen and your radiance intimidates them. So this is a collective opposition of beings who want to try and peg you down on their level. But you have so much integrity, that shit doesn't work on you. And that just creates more frustration. So you're going to see more of this intensity, but as it breaks you through, I think, especially moving forward, Libra season, this is going to create greater support, especially as a Libra rising. This is going to take into account the completion of your evolution cycle, especially coming into Jupiter next year. 2017, Jupiter was in your sign. Now it's in your 10th house. And all the stuff you began 2017, you're completing. You're coming into an evolution of your legacy. And that's going to lead into Leo next year. And it's going to break through into even more rewards. So you have a lot to really enjoy. All right. And I think a lot of your hard work is going to continue to pay off, and it is well deserved. So this is where we're going to kind of close out for today. Tomorrow, we are going to resume with the Earth Tribe report. All right. You guys are amazing per usual. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to David Walker Black, who just joined. And until next time, you guys stay blessed as always.